We're talking about agenda item 9. We will have an overview and the revision of the code of practice for the aflatoxin contamination in peanuts. We will focus on most important issues for the Arab countries. This is a quick background. In 1998, JACFA considered aflatoxins are human liver carcinogens as AFB1 as the most potent one. As we know that aflatoxin has different types, most importantly B1. Back then, there was no tolerance for intake. There were adoption for ALARA. In 2017, JACFA 83 made re-evaluation of the data and dive exposure for aflatoxin B1. And reaffirmation was done for the last session. In 2023, the CCF18 made identification for the code of practice as a high priority for the region. In 17th session of the Codex in 2024, recommended revising the existing code of practice of aflatoxin B nuts. As a result, the EWG was established to make a draft and revise the version. Then the draft was forwarded to CAC 47 and the Codex Elementaries that approved that in 2024. Now in CCF 18, we will discuss the updated version and the pools and the step procedures to have adoption. The revised codes emphasize several improvements. First, there is a new section added for the introduction and general recommendation and other related codex text. The feed was included in the scope. The feed means peanuts byproducts like the outer layers. Also measure the identification of the codex to prevent or reduce aflatoxin contamination. A table was added to clarify peanut productive growth and steps to minimize aflatoxin results. Another important issue as a top priority in the microtoxins, the moisture content. There was a debate because of the acceptable limits. Some members aligned the Codex standard, what used to be 10% and 9% for kernels. However, for us in the Arab region, we put aflatoxin information is still risk below 9. We need to adapt the Codex on Arab countries because due to the climate, temperature, there is still risk of aflatoxin information, even less than 9%. We made risk-based approach, focusing on prevention and early detection. According to the summary table and the key factors for Arab countries, shall consider adopting the revised code of practice. First, the recommendation to adapt the code of practice to local peanut production and aflatoxin control in accordance with Arab countries. Then customize general recommendation according to local conditions, as we mentioned, temperature and humidity. Third, regulation, the same, to adapt the Codex timeline to regional regulations. Review and align definitions, revise definition, and agricultural terms to review and align the definitions with the local standards. For field inclusion, the recommendation to raise awareness and include food safety guidelines. There was a part I need to clarify. For the feed safety, as it is important to maintain the animal production and wealth, aflatoxin B1 shall be focused on in the animals because it becomes a toxin, aflatoxin A1, in the dairy milk and other cheese and yogurt. The literature measure suggests low cost to be appropriate for small farmers and small lands. Emphasizes pre-harvest gap by trying a moisture control. For moisture content, we recommended that 8% to be the limit. To increase drying methods for products. Then, promoting roasting as a aflatoxin reduction, and to put clear vision guidelines. For risk management, we offer clear doable steps for certain procedures using regional piece examples. Next. The general recommendation for adoption. For adoption of revised COP. Our recommendation to encourage the adoption of the Code of Practice. We hope to develop national aflatoxin control program, develop and adopt risk management practices, do capacity building and training for farmers or manufacturers, regional collaboration and knowledge sharing, then provide support for infrastructure development. Thank you very much.